You might think classic muscle cars were just stylish cruisers with a bit of extra horsepower, but the truth is, some of these factory-built machines were dangerously extreme and nearly uncontrollable. There was an era when manufacturers crossed a line, turning out vehicles so overpowered they had no business leaving a dealership. Get ready for some shocking examples. Let's count down the 12 wildest factory-built muscle cars ever unleashed on public roads, starting with number 12. Taking the number 12 spot is the 1970 Buick GSX Stage 1, a car that proved even a luxury brand could wake up with extreme violence. Buick was known for building quiet, comfortable cars for doctors and executives, but the GSX was a sudden, vicious departure. Under the hood sat a monstrous 455 cubic inch V8, producing a reality-bending 510 pound-feet of torque. This was more torque than any other American production car at the time, and it hit the rear wheels like a sledgehammer. When you mashed the throttle, the violent acceleration literally twisted the heavy chassis. It possessed a tire-shredding power that instantly vaporized the rear rubber, filling the cabin with the acrid smoke of burning bias-ply tires. The suspension simply could not keep up with the brutal thrust, resulting in a terrifyingly unstable handling dynamic for such a massive cruiser. The raw, mechanical feel of this torque monster left drivers in shock. But the next car made this one look tame. Coming in at number 11 is the 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona, an aerodynamic freak of nature that was ultimately deemed too dangerous for its own good. Dodge was desperate to dominate NASCAR, so they slapped a massive 18-inch nose cone on the front and a towering wing on the back of a standard Charger. The result was a vehicle capable of breaking 200 miles per hour on the track. But Dodge had to sell them to the public to meet racing rules. Driving a Daytona on the street was an absolute nightmare. The engine overheated constantly in traffic, and the aerodynamic modifications created massive blind spots. But the real danger came when the road opened up. You could feel the terrifying roar of the 426 Hemi vibrating through the sheet metal. Pushing this car to its limits on vintage, unforgiving tires gave you a sheer sense of impending danger, as the front end felt light and floaty over uneven pavement. What came next pushed muscle cars into pure insanity. Rolling into the number 10 position is the 1969 Pontiac GTO Judge Ram Air 4i. This was an unapologetic act of corporate defiance, spearheaded by a renegade executive named John DeLorean. The Judge was designed to be loud, brash, and aggressively in your face. The Ram Air 4i engine was absurdly underrated by the factory for insurance purposes, hiding a peaky, high-revving powerhouse that shook violently at idle. The noise was deafening, a throaty, aggressive exhaust bark that announced your arrival blocks away. Getting behind the wheel was a lesson in white-knuckle survival. The power delivery was so abrupt that it constantly snapped the rear end loose, resulting in a wild, oversteer-prone ride that demanded your constant attention. The raw, unfiltered vibrations surging through the steering column made it feel like the car was actively trying to rip itself apart. If you think this was extreme, wait until you see what number 9 did. Grabbing the number 9 spot is the 1969 Ford Mustang Boss 429. A car so extreme that Ford had to physically chop up its own assembly line just to make it exist. Ford needed to homologate their massive shotgun 429 racing engine for NASCAR, and they decided the Mustang was the vessel. The engine was so incomprehensibly wide that Ford had to hire an outside company to cut and widen the shock towers just to cram it inside. This resulted in a terrifying weight imbalance. The front of the car was incredibly heavy, meaning the Boss 429 plowed through corners with frightening understeer. Stepping on the gas delivered a deafening mechanical clatter from the massive valves, followed by a violent surge of straight-line terror. The nose would dive violently under hard braking, making it an absolute handful on winding roads. It was a pure drag strip brawler trapped in a pony car's body. The next machine was so wild, some drivers refused to get behind the wheel. Claiming number 8 is the 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle SS 454 LS6, an absolute titan that held the title for the highest factory horsepower rating of the golden era.
Chevrolet boldly claimed 450 horsepower, but anyone who drove one knew that was a blatant corporate lie. It was easily pushing past 500. This car did not accelerate, it erupted. The instant you touched the pedal, the monstrous big block delivered an unstoppable wave of torque that completely overwhelmed the rear suspension. The lack of traction was genuinely terrifying. You could be cruising at 40 miles per hour, hit the gas, and instantly liquefy the rear tires, sending the car sliding sideways across the pavement. The deafening exhaust bark and the violent twist of the frame made every commute feel like a death-defying stunt. It was a car that commanded absolute respect, punishing anyone foolish enough to take it lightly. The next machine stripped away everything but the violence. Occupying the number 7 slot is the 1969 Dodge Super Bee A12, a bare-knuckle street brawler that came straight from the dealership looking like a stolen race car. Imagine buying a brand new car that doesn't even have hinges on the hood. The A12 featured a massive matte black fiberglass hood held down by 4 metal pins. If you wanted to check the oil, you needed a friend to help you lift the entire hood completely off the car. Beneath it sat the legendary 445 six-pack, topped with 3 two-barrel carburetors. When you stomped the accelerator, you could hear the terrifying suction sound of all 6 barrels opening at once, sucking in air with a vicious gasp. The suspension was incredibly rigid, delivering an unforgiving, bone-rattling ride that transmitted every bump directly to your spine. With no hubcaps and bare black steel wheels, it was loud, rough, and completely stripped of comfort. But the next car made this bare-bones brute look perfectly sensible. Screaming into number 6 is the 1970 Plymouth Hemi Cuda. Dropping an elephant into a phone booth is a recipe for disaster, but Plymouth did exactly that by shoving the gigantic 426 Hemi engine into the relatively compact E-body chassis. The result was a vehicle with disastrously bad weight distribution. The front end was heavily burdened by the massive iron block, leaving the rear tires dangerously light. Piloting the Hemi Cuda on the street was a constant battle for survival. The front suspension crashed violently over bumps, while the rear tires hopelessly spun for grip. The steering wheel shook violently in your hands as the immense power threatened to rip the car off the pavement. It was a machine defined by pure, unadulterated danger, offering raw mechanical feedback that exhausted the driver after just a few miles. It was a terrifying masterpiece of imbalance. The next vehicle was so rare and dangerous, mechanics didn't even know how to tune it. Sitting at number 5 is the 1969 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1, a shadow operation that resulted in an all-aluminum race car hiding in simple sight. This wasn't a standard muscle car, it was a covert project utilizing the central office production order system to bypass corporate limits. The ZL1 featured an all-aluminum 427 cubic inch V8 originally designed for Can-Am circuit racing. It doubled the price of a standard Camaro and delivered terrifying results. Because the engine was so incredibly light, the power-to-weight ratio was heavily skewed into the danger zone. The high-compression engine shrieked with a metallic scream, producing blistering heat that radiated straight through the floorboards, baking the driver's feet. The throttle was incredibly twitchy, and the raw, unfiltered acceleration felt like being strapped to a solid-fuel rocket. It was so radically over-engineered for the street that the general public had no business owning it. If you think this was extreme, wait until you see what number 4 delivered.
Taking the number 4 spot is the 1964 Ford Fairlane Thunderbolt, a vehicle that took a mundane family car and mutated it into a terrifying fiberglass death trap. Ford wanted to dominate drag racing, so they stripped the Fairlane down to its absolute bare essentials. They replaced the steel body panels with flimsy fiberglass and swapped the glass windows for plexiglass. They ripped out the radio, the heater, the sound deadening, and even the passenger side windshield wiper just to save a few ounces. Then they dropped in a towering 427 high-riser engine. Driving a Thunderbolt was a sensory overload of pure danger. The stripped cabin echoed with a hollow, tinny sound, amplifying the deafening roar of the exhaust. The car was so light and the engine so incredibly powerful that the front wheels would violently leap off the pavement during hard acceleration. It was a street-legal car that actively wanted to kill you. If that sounds terrifying, the next car practically required a death wish. Blasting into number 3 is the 1963 Chevrolet Impala Z11. This was a massive land yacht that somehow weighed as little as a compact car and hit like a runaway freight train. Chevrolet took their largest vehicle and aggressively stripped its weight, replacing the hood, fenders, and bumpers with ultra-thin aluminum. Under the hood was a highly modified 427 cubic inch W-Series engine, fed by dual carburetors. The Z11 was never intended for the street. It was a purpose-built drag strip assassin that somehow leaked into the hands of a few crazy civilians. Piloting this massive machine on a public road was an exercise in pure terror. The numb, floating steering, combined with warp-speed acceleration, made it feel entirely disconnected from the earth. Worse still, the incredible speeds it could reach completely overwhelmed the ancient drum brakes, resulting in terrifying brake fade when you desperately needed to stop. But the next entry was so extreme, the manufacturer tried to stop normal people from buying it. Securing the number 2 position is the 1967 Chevrolet Corvette L88, a car that Chevrolet actively discouraged you from purchasing. General Motors knew this car was too wild for the streets, so they purposely underrated the horsepower at 430 to keep insurance companies away, while it actually produced well over 500. They hid the L88 option deep in the order sheet. If you managed to check the box, you received a car completely devoid of a heater, a radio, or a fan shroud. Furthermore, Chevrolet slapped a massive warning sticker on the center console stating the car mandated 103-octane racing fuel. Pumping regular gas into this high-compression monster caused severe, violent engine knock. Sitting in the cockpit was miserable. You were suffocated by choking exhaust fumes, the raw heat from the engine baked the cabin, and the violent, lumpy idle constantly threatened to stall the car in regular traffic. It was a miserable, punishing street car, which made it a perfect race car. Yet even the L88 pales in comparison to our final, ultimate monster. Taking the ultimate crown at number 1 is the 1968 Dodge Dart LO23 Hemi. This is the undisputed king of factory madness, a machine so inherently dangerous it came from the factory with a literal disclaimer forbidding its use on public highways. Dodge wanted to rule the superstock drag racing class, so they shipped a fleet of compact darts to Hearst Performance. The mission was to cram the gigantic 426 Hemi into an engine bay designed for a humble inline-six. To make this impossible fit work, mechanics literally took sledgehammers to the inner fender shock towers, bashing them inward until the mammoth engine squeezed into place. They replaced the doors with acid-dipped steel so thin you could practically dent it by leaning on it. The side windows were swapped for ultra-thin glass pulled up by canvas straps instead of heavy window cranks. There was absolutely zero sound deadening. Turning the key unleashed a deafening mechanical symphony of clattering valves and shrieking exhaust. The chassis visibly twisted off the line, groaning under the immense rotational force of the Hemi. The sheer terror of piloting this featherweight bomb on the street was unmatched. It had no warranty, no comfort, and zero forgiveness. Despite the manufacturer's warning sticker expressly stating it was not for street use, these cars were given VIN numbers, and absolute madmen drove them on public roads anyway. It stands completely alone as the most terrifying, irresponsible, and glorious machine ever unleashed by an automaker. It is hard to fathom that automakers once handed the keys to these violent, untamed monsters to anyone with enough cash. Modern engineering has perfected speed, but we will never again see machines this raw, dangerous, and unapologetic. These weren't just muscle cars, they were factory-built acts of rebellion on 4 wheels.